Good day everyone, this is welcome to First Choice Life Tips. Now today I'll be talking briefly on time management. Now before we proceed on time management, I would like to define what time management is. You see, time management can be defined as the act of managing of this is the act of using or managing one's time effectively, like using one's time effectively and productively. Now you know when to use your time, you know what to do with time. There are things you do that are not important, there are things you do. So you know this is the management, you know how to use your time. The main word, use your time effectively, productively. You need to produce something good of your life because time matters. When you use the time, when you waste your time all of your life, when you play, they say the fool at 40 is a fool forever. Some fools who are 20 can still be fool forever because no management of time. That's improper management of time. Now, as like Ella said, it is the ability you have to use your time effectively and productively. Now I will jump into the three tips of how to manage your time. Now, these are the three tips. One, you have to prioritize basic activity. Now, while you do that, you use the UI law. Now, I'll break down for you. UI law, this is the UI, urgent, important. Now, there are things which are urgent and important. There are things which are urgent but not important. There are things which are important but not urgent. And there are things which are not urgent and not important. So you need to know these things. You need to know what is urgent and not important. So now for instance, you have to go to school by 8 o'clock, or you have to go to work by 8 o'clock, and you have to prepare the food again the next day, the following day. Now, for instance, you waking up by 6 o'clock to prepare that food instead of preparing for school. That is an important thing, but it's not urgent. You can't prepare what you have. It's an important thing, but it's not urgent. What is urgent at that point of time is you getting to work on time. That is what is important. So you need to know what to do. You do the basic things. You prioritize the basic things. Do it at the right time. Do it on time. Now the second tips will be you have to try as much as possible to get a research. I have mine here and I use it most of the time. I use my time. You see, if you check the time now, I use my watch at all time. Now, when I say I use my watch at all time, for instance, you're going to work. You know you've been working already. You've been working every day, going to work every day. You know how long it takes for you to drive down from your location to your workplace. If you have a wristwatch, you do check time every day. When you know you leave the house by 7:30 and you get to work by 8:15, that's 1 hour, about 1 hour 15 minutes drive. Or you leave your house by 7:15 and get to work by at least 7:50. You know the time. When you do that every day, by the time you're going somewhere, you know when to wake up, you know what to do. Like the time, for instance, when I had my bicycle, the place I was worshiping as a Christian who I am, I was worshiping at a church far from my house. And whenever I want to go to church by 5, I need to go to church by 5. I start preparing by 4 o'clock. Now, when I use that 1 hour space to prepare, I know before 4:30 I'll be done with bathing, showering, dressing up, and to look good like I do now. So I'll do that in 30 minutes. Then I leave the house. If I could leave the house by 4:30, now I can ride. I check. I use my wristwatch at all time. When I ride to a certain location, I just turn and look at my watch because I'm riding, so I can just immediately when it's here I can do. Or when you say, yeah, okay, I have my phone, somebody will say, I have my phone with me. You can't begin to bring that way. It's kind of risky. Yeah, but you have a wristwatch, you can just turn and you just tap and just check immediately. I know what the time is. Now, when I was doing that, I noticed that every time I go to church, I use about 15 to 18 minutes to get to the place I'm going to. I do that every day, and whenever I go to a place a bit far than the place the church, I check that there's a time I went to a place a bit far, another distance. I rode about 20 minutes. Now I calculate this is what I do. So when I'm going out to somewhere, from anytime, if I go to a very I close, I go to my family house, my friend's house. I'm looking the time, and sometimes when I go there, they say, you every time you're rushing, you're always time here. Yes, I'm very time conscious, and this has helped me very well. And whenever I go somewhere, I make sure I know the time I get in there. I'm always with my ritual. I'm very conscious of that because I want to know where I'm going to. If I have a meeting by 5, life. I know I'll prepare 1 hour before the time. I've get used to it. So you know how to manage your time, because when you have a wristwatch, you can easily check the time when you're doing